we can make these sort of decisions. Then we say, okay, we got these tech people. Let's make sure we're up to speed here. Oh, sorry, backing up. Good example of information as an asset. We said the information age, companies realized that information was an asset. So which of these is good example? No, just faster. No, unless you match it to a problem. This is good, but no, it's just faster. Efficiency, efficiency, efficiency. The effectiveness in the information age example is this. You're paying your credit card bill every month or not paying your credit card bill, and we're going to sell that information to credit agencies and to loan companies, and this really happens. So if you fail to pay your credit card bill every third month, they say, we're not going to give you a loan for a home. You're a bad risk. So that becomes, they had the data. What's the data? Downing owed $328 and he paid it. But the information age use of that is, okay, we deem him to be reliable. So again, very good. Now, what's another way, Jewel? That was sending me a coupon Tuesday night. And then we come to this question. Who's more important to the business in the case of these two people? The techies and the senior managers. Students will often say to me, oh, these people, they're brilliant. We got to have them. And as much as I love these people, and we need these people, and we value these people, these are more important. Because once somebody invents RFID, we just need one person to do that. The managers who find the different uses for RFID to different business problems are in the millions, infinite basically. There's no end to that. Again, very valuable, love these people, but we only need one person to invent RFID, and then the rest of us will use it to solve business problems. But really, you want to be here in the middle. You want to be the communicative bridge. You want to be able to speak their language. I know what these technologies are. I understand them. I may not be able to program them, but I understand them. And I can tell you, if you're afraid of social media or whatever is going on, I can tell you the promise of the technology. I can tell you why it thinks it will solve our business problems. If you can be this person in today's economy, whatever your major is, you are worth a lot of money. So the answer to that question is the senior managers. All right. So finance, technology is important in every discipline. Now, a little more formal methodology, right? Okay, we talked about slicing bread and hands coming together, but what should you do? What should you do if the light bulb, meaning you have an idea? I think this would be a great idea to use technology to solve a business problem. What is the formal procedure you should go through? That formal procedure is called the Systems Development Life Cycle, or SDLC. It's a set of steps. It's a great checklist for your head to think about. What should I do here so I don't make a mistake? Again, sometimes people get too enthusiastic. They go buy the technology and they're not really sure how they're going to put it to use. So you want to do this. 7 steps. There they are. I have annotated the 7 steps here. We're evaluating through the 7 steps. If you hit a roadblock at any one of the steps, you should stop. Peter Keene, a famous technology consultant, said that the money wasted increases by a factor of 10 throughout these steps. Meaning, if you're sitting and talking to people and you say, does this idea make sense? And the person you're talking to says, that absolutely does not make sense, and here's why. They might give you a feasibility reason. We'll talk about a feasibility study in a second. And you say, oh, you're right, that doesn't make sense. Let's say at that stage, you're at lunch with someone. You've wasted $1. The person tells you it's a bad idea. If you take a bad idea and say, okay, let's go spec it out. Let's build some diagrams to show how this system will work. Now you've wasted $10. If you go to design and you have your technology people start giving technical diagrams, you've wasted $100. So 1 becomes 10, becomes 100, becomes 1,000, becomes 10,000, becomes 100,000, becomes 1,000,000. And we see this all the time. Companies taking bad ideas and running with them and wasting a lot of money because they didn't fully understand the technology, or they didn't understand the business problem, or they didn't understand the match. This SDLC will help you avoid that sort of problem. So let's talk about the steps in greater details. But there's the answer. If the light bulb goes on, the first thing you should do is what? Go into a feasibility study, ask, does it make sense? Basically, embark on the SDLC. And if it costs $1 to fix the error, how much would it cost in the design? 1 becomes 10, becomes 100. So that would be $100. All right. Now we're going to talk about feasibility, which is something that we're supposed to perform in the first step. So we start with planning, and within planning, we do something called a feasibility study. These are the 3 main types that you really need to worry about. Obviously, if you're going to put it into play too quickly, that's a problem here. And if you're breaking the law, that's also a problem. But these are the 3 biggies. You say economic. Will using this technology to solve this business problem gain us more money than it will cost us to put it into place? So think of the economic feasibility of the Husky bus service example with GPS. If we're putting a GPS on every bus in the NIU bus system and writing software and putting up screens in campus buildings to show where the buses are, how are we going to make that money up? Again, here there are some soft costs which become more difficult to evaluate, but that's a classic customer satisfaction play. The NIU students, you say, wow, they care about me. They're trying to help me not get wet or get caught in a storm. I appreciate that. And you tell people at your high school, they're really looking out for us. Hopefully you do. And so the customer satisfaction translates into future customers and things like this. So economic feasibility can include soft benefits like customer satisfaction. Harder to quantify, but still very important. Operational feasibility is sometimes called organizational feasibility. And that means, will you have problems with the users? Will people use it? Will it work with your customers? So it's the human concern. And the last one is technical feasibility. Can we do it? And will it work from a technology standpoint? If I'm driving through the I-Pass at 50 miles an hour, will they still be able to bill me? Of course, the signs say 15 miles per hour, but you know that not everyone does that, and we still want to bill the people. So that could be a technical feasibility issue. But if you pass those things, if you say, yep, yes, 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 it's okay, then you want to move to step 2, analysis. And step 2, analysis, involves explaining how this technology will solve this business problem in a layperson or kind of common sense, clear manner. And the best way to do that is with a diagram. So really what you're doing is diagramming the business process. There's the definition of a business process. It's what a business does. And you want to diagram it and show how your technology solution is improving the process. So everything is business process improvement, but within BPI, we have BPA, which means we're just going to make it more efficient and faster, or BPR, which means we're going to change this process completely. The picture will change. What do we mean? We're going to show that with a model or a diagram, and we're going to show here's how it works now, and here's how the technology solution I'm proposing will make it look in the future. Very simple example. Here's as is. Back in the old days, we went through every single thing. They say you want fries with that, and that became kind of a famous question. Now they go up and say, I want a number 1. So look at the picture. This process is more efficient than this process. There's less steps. This is the as is, this is the to be. In this case, it wasn't a technology innovation or implementation. It was just the creation of the combo meals. A more technology business case is Ford Motor Company. When something's going to happen, they would send a purchase order to a vendor. Let's say I want 100 door handles. They send a purchase order for 100 door handles to the vendor. And what happens in the real world? Well, we have 75 door handles available. We'll send them to your shipping and receiving dock. They send a receiving document. We got 75 door handles. Well, these poor people in accounts payable, they get a copy of a purchase order which says we ordered 100 door handles. They get a receiving document that says we received 75 door handles. What should we pay? Invoice is probably coming for 100. They know they're going to send the other 25 later. Ford Motor Company had 500 accounts payable employees, and most of their business day was spent calling them up. Did you really order 100? Are you sure you got 75 and not 100? That's terrible. What's the technology solution here? We love these dotted lines mean an electronic connection. This is kind of probably on the internet, a database on the internet. Anytime, any place connectivity. So we're ordering 100 door handles. Some of the processes may still require paper, but within our company, we're going to shoot that up to the database, say we ordered 100. They get 75, they say we got 75. Nothing goes this way. The database kicks out the message to accounts payable only when these two match. When the other 25 show up, that flips a switch, it shoots over here, and they even said to their vendors, don't even bother sending us paper invoices. We don't want them. When these two things match and we get that message, we'll send you a check for the 100 door handles. And Ford achieved a 75% reduction in accounts payable headcount. That's incredible. And if you say, what sort of change is this? I always look, here's before, that's why it's all caps. I always look at how similar the picture is. These pictures are fairly similar. There's subjectivity here. They're fairly similar. I would say It's definitely business process improvement, but if I had to categorize it, it's probably business process automation. When the picture looks completely different, then it's business process reengineering. But it's before, also known as is, and after, also known as to be. That's what we're trying to do in this class. And there's a question on this. Ford moving from the before picture shown in the video to the after picture is an example of business process improvement. I think that answers your participation quiz question. More specifically, it's business process automation. What is the order of the system's development lifecycle? You should be able to see that. And then which steps is everybody going to have to deal with? That's the next several slides. The design phase and the development phase you can give to technology people or consultancies. You can skip those. The fallacy of many students in non-technical disciplines is that, oh, I don't have to worry about this. I'll have someone else do the technology. There's a grain of truth to that, but steps 1, 2, 5, 6, and 7, you are forced to participate in those whether you like it or not, because you understand your business, and if you think you're going to give away technology solutions to your business entirely, you're wrong. They're going to ask you to test the new system. You're going to have to implement the new system. So you're going to be involved, and maintenance means how's it going? Does it need improvements? You will be involved in all those phases, 1, 2, 5, 6, and 7. You cannot avoid it. You can outsource steps 3 and 4 of the SDLC. What's outsourcing? Means you're having a consultancy, or in some cases China, India, technology companies that say we can build this system for you, but you are still involved in these steps. That's very important to recognize. And here's some reasons companies outsource. You may not know how to do an RFID system, and so you have someone else put it in. But again, you have to explain and even diagram what is this system doing for your business. That's very important, and so many people outsource. It's very common, but you cannot outsource all the steps. That ends our discussion of Unit 1. Take the participation quiz before you take the full quiz. Good luck.